Thank you for joining, Carol Glam. Thank you for joining, Enrique. Okay. Good evening. That might be better, not so much light. Thank you for joining. I am Janie Deadweiler, the founder and CEO of Angels in Distress Incorporated, Transition from Domestic Violence. I'm also the CEO of Victory Coaching, Victorious Intervention, Carefully Training on Restoring Yourself. Yes. Thank you for joining First Flower. Guys, invite your followers, please, because I want to talk tonight about some things that we really need to help each other work on. Particularly my nieces, my cousins, my play sisters, my sisters, any woman that's out there. Invite them. Invite them. Because I heard something very disturbing today from a young woman. She was a young woman. And she said she didn't feel like she was black and beautiful. And she was gorgeous. She was gorgeous. And I find it interesting how we, particularly the African American woman, has allowed the media to manipulate, intimidate, and sometimes isolate us from feeling that we are part of that tapestry that's beautiful naturally. Little story. You see my hair? When I first went natural in my career, I was the dyed, fried, and laid to the side lady. Every week I was in a shop. Every week. And after my experience with domestic abuse, thank you for joining. I don't want to mess up your name. I decided that I was going to just embrace who I was however I wanted to. Not by what the magazine said, not by what the cosmetologist said, not by what mainstream was trending at the time. So needless to say, when I started my natural hair journey, I had colleagues, I even had supervisors that were looking in directives and SOPs, trying to find a way to admonish me about my hair and the way that I was wearing my hair. Because even in growing your hair natural, there is that middle phase that a lot of women understand when you're trying to let your perm grow out, that middle phase, or you get a haircut in that middle phase, which is very, very clumsy sometimes and unruly. But anyway, when I first started, I wanted my hair to literally stand up on my head. And it was too soft. It would not stand up. But I literally wanted it to just stand straight up on my head, because it was somewhat defiant. And it was also making a statement that I'm going to be accepted just as I am. And if you don't like it, bye. But anyway, I also had young women that looked at me sideways, that made remarks. Why won't she fix her hair? Why won't she go to the shop and have her hair fixed? My hair was fixed, because I quickly came into a place of understanding that I must first embrace my hair in its natural state to do what natural hair does. And you know the reward of that? I never had a bad hair day. Thank you for joining, Yum Escobar 5. So for me, I don't have bad hair days, because my hair naturally do what it's supposed to do. And I'm okay with that. After I retired from my career, I had some young ladies reach out to me on Facebook, and they said, Miss Deadweiler, now I get it. Now I get it. Now I understand you going natural. And I said, well, baby, it's an individual's journey. I said, and some people have to get to that place. If you're not there, I'm not trying to force it on you. This is something that I decided to do for me because it empowered me. And you know the main thing about it? I was liberated. Oh my God. I was so liberated. I didn't have to sleep like this anymore. I didn't have to sleep like this anymore. I didn't have to sleep like this anymore. I could just lie down and go to sleep and get good rest. And if I look shiny tonight, it's because I am greasy with coconut oil. Welcome, Slim Tam. My face is so broken out from the pollen. Thank you for the heart. My face is so broken out from the pollen. It feels like an inverted porcupine. But anyway, we're going to get past that too. And do I still feel like I'm beautiful? Thank you for joining The Real Deal. Hey. Hi, thank you for joining. So, this young woman, this is what Victory does. We try to get to the young people early for them to understand who they are and how powerful they are. Because this young woman said she didn't feel like she was black and beautiful. And she was gorgeous. Thank you for joining, Capo 300. And we have got to help. We have got to help. We've got to reach one and teach one. And am I saying that everyone needs to become natural? No, that's not what I'm saying. Absolutely. You are absolutely correct. Because I'm getting ready to touch on that too. I'm not saying that everyone has to go natural with their hair. This is what I did for me. And I have been free ever since I did it. No, I was saying at the early part of the scope, I used to be dyed, fried, and laid to the side. I let my hair grow down here, cut it off, and put some weave in. So I get it. I get all of that. All of that. But not anymore. But not anymore. Thank you for joining, Ismahan. Lola, thank you for joining. So, we as women must pick up our sisters who feel that they are not beautiful. Going to all black people, but I'm gonna cover all of us. Hi, thank you for joining me. I met a woman at a book signing in Atlanta, and she was from Nigeria. And the young lady that I was supporting there, she said, I want you to meet her. You need to meet her, Janie. You need to meet her. And so she got to a place to where she could break and talk with me. And I was telling her what happened, the spiritual experience I had when I was trying to get my hair to stand up straight on my head. I said, because I felt like I didn't like the two-strand twist down on my head. Paid a whole lot of money to people to do that, and then found out I could do it myself and keep my money. But not only that, I didn't like the way they were wearing the two-strand, because it's not me. It's not me. So I was telling her how I felt like my hair needed to stand up tall on my head. And as I was sharing with her, I became a little emotional. And she said, you know why those tears came to your eyes then? She said, because you felt the spirit of those that came before you. And that's why you felt like you needed to have your hair stand straight up on your head. Because that's the way they communicated on the slave boats. Was by their hairstyles. Which is powerful. Which is powerful. To know that your hair can communicate for you. Now, what mine may say to you as you see me is not my definition of what it says. What it says to me is that I'm free. What it says to me is that I'm okay with me. More importantly, that I am okay with me. Am I against my sisters who wear the yaki, the weave, the good hair, or whatever hair? No, I'm not. Because I used to be there. I got it. I understood it. but I'm not there anymore because I'm okay with me. It's a journey. It's a journey. Lapita, I think she is just drop dead gorgeous. I have a niece that's her complexion. And I remember when I first saw her, I said, oh my God, you are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And here is the thing that disturbs me more than anything about these young women. Who told them earlier that they weren't beautiful? Who told them that their black hue was not pretty? Anyone that went to kindergarten, where did all colors come from? Where did all colors begin on that chart? Came out of the black color. All of them came out of the blackness. And we were talking one day about how there is discrimination within other cultures. There's discrimination in the Hispanic culture about the dark one in their family. There is in other cultures. I'm also a culture diversity instructor. And when I was going through training, I was just in awe. Even the people who have a lighter complexion discriminate against those in their culture that has a darker hue. And I call it crazy. Because it's amazing to me. It's amazing. And we know in our culture, in the black culture, that your child can reach 2 to 3 generations back and pick up the complexion of someone in the family. And when you look at the hard truth, those who are fair-skinned, it didn't come from a good place. It came from women being raped. It came from women being abused. It didn't come from a good place. So think about that. It didn't come from a good place. And the young lady who was saying today that she didn't feel like she was black and beautiful, you know what she's doing? She's mentally abusing herself. She's psychologically abusing herself. And you all know that's what I teach on more than anything, about not allowing anyone else to abuse you. And then the thought that she is mentally and psychologically and emotionally abusing herself by telling herself that she don't think she's black and beautiful when she really is. If she doesn't look at the magazine, if she doesn't look at what media the dumb box is putting in front of you. When I see little girls now with their twists on their hair, they look like little beautiful dolls. And you can tell that they wear their twists proudly. It's because that's what their parents have instilled in them. That you're wonderfully and fearfully made just as you are, darling. But we got to do a better job at encouraging each other, particularly women. You know, it's one thing, and I've said this before, that men, thank you for joining AMZO 36 Mafia. Thank you for joining. I think about men. I don't care where men are. I don't care what men are doing. When they pass each other, they acknowledge each other. Women, just like you're invisible. But men will acknowledge each other with a nod. Hey, bruh, something. They will acknowledge each other. But women will pass by each other. Why is that? Excuse me. Why is that? Why we won't acknowledge that we see each other? But I want to read something from one of my little books. And I think by now you guys know that I read. And this is from my Grace for the Moment. It's backwards. Excuse me. Inspirational Thoughts for Each Day of the Year by Max Lucado. And this one is entitled A Complete Restoration. God loves to decorate. God has to decorate. Let him live long enough in a heart, and that heart will begin to change. Portraits of hurt will be replaced by landscapes of grace. Walls of anger will be demolished and shaky foundations restored. God can no more leave a life unchanged than a mother can leave her child's tear untouched. This might explain some of the discomfort in your life. Remodeling of the heart is not always pleasant. We don't object when the carpenter adds a few shelves, but he's been known to gut the entire west wing. He has such high aspirations for you. God envisions a complete restoration. He won't stop until he is finished. He wants you to be just like his son, Jesus. Now, for this young lady who felt like she wasn't beautiful, I ask that you stop and compliment a stranger tomorrow or tonight even. You see someone. Even if you don't want to compliment them, just say hi. Just acknowledge that they are there and that you see them. It could change their life. And if you see a little black girl or a young black sister, tell her how beautiful she is. Because all colors can come from her. And that she is black and beautiful. I think about my first best friend. She was dark complexion. And I thought she was gorgeous too. I just kind of sent around the gingerbread color, I guess, a little bit. Or vanilla wafer. I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. But my dad, it was black. He was dark complexion. And I share the story of how I wanted to drink coffee with him. But for the longest time, he wouldn't let me drink coffee with him because he told me it would make me black. And I said to him, well, I want to drink the coffee, Daddy, because I want to be black just like you. We've got to start early, encouraging and instilling into the children. I don't care whose child, whether it's black, Asian, Caucasian, Indian. I don't care, American Indian. I don't care whose child it is. We've got to know that they are wonderfully made. Because the words say that we're made in God's image. So he definitely wasn't looking at who was real dark and who was real light. He loved us all. He loves us all. And we've got to encourage the young sisters more. I'm also an advocate and a facilitator for human sex trafficking too. You know how a lot of them young girls get out there? Because of low self-esteem. You can't buy low self-esteem in makeup. You can't buy high self-esteem in makeup. You can't buy it in clothes. You can't buy it in shoes. You can't buy it in hair. You can't buy it in your nails. You can't buy it in, mine are natural. Yeah, see, these are all broke off over here. You can't buy self-esteem. You have to work on it from the inside out. From the inside out. It comes from within. And that's what we do with Victory, learning from within. Learning from within. Young ladies, Consider me Auntie Janie tonight, okay? And I'm talking to you. If you don't feel like you're beautiful, you are. You're the apple of God's eye. You're beautiful. And guess what? No one can do your beautiful like you do yours. Nobody can do your beautiful like you do yours. Understand that. I am nowhere near two, and I'd look rather ill if I were. I wear my clothes. They don't wear me. I am my size, and I'm free and content with me. Was I always that way? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That was always there. I was okay with that. But when I went natural, the butterfly was set free, totally free. And I'm more happier today than I ever was with myself. I was looking at a picture the other day, and I thought, I didn't think I looked like that. I didn't think I looked like that. Because my self-esteem wasn't there. My self-esteem wasn't there. But it is today. And that's why I'm going to try and help you. No, I'm going to help you because I'm going to be here every week telling you what you can do. Excuse me. This one is tenderhearted. Be kind to each other. Tenderhearted, forgiving one another, just as God through Christ has forgiven you. This is Becoming a Woman of Worth, Promise Book. What happens when we live God's way? He brings gifts into our lives, much the same way that fruit appears in an orchard. Things like affection for others, exuberance about life, serenity. We develop a sense of compassion in the heart. Your own soul is nourished when you are kind, but you destroy yourself when you are cruel. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves. You must be compassionate just as your Father is compassionate. If I can put a touch of rosy sunset into the life of any man or woman, thank you for joining, Original 61. Any man or woman, I should feel that I have worked with God, and that's by John MacDonald. I want to read that again. If I can put a touch of rosy sunset into the life of any man or woman, I shall feel that I have worked with God, by John MacDonald. That is beautiful. So, it's a quick scope tonight, in and out. But you are black and beautiful. You are yellow and beautiful. You are brown and beautiful. You are white and beautiful. My nieces, my sisters, my cousins. We're all beautiful. You've just got to take the journey to understand just how beautiful you are. Thank you for joining me. Good night.